Hello everybody and welcome to Berringer, and you are now looking at my fleet list ending year 2014, and the first on my list is my class 08 shunter, and it's a little Diddy Batman version in the BR blue, and I tend to use this in and around the station for incoming locos and basically pulling the coaches out, pulling them back and getting the loco to run around. So that's pretty much what I use the 08 for. Next on my list is this weathered version class 25052, and it's a Bachmann BR blue weathered, and it has directional lighting. It doesn't actually make that much of an appearance here at the station. It's usually down doing the China clay works. I did have a green version of this, but I took it back and got rid of it because it was grinding on the old gears, so I didn't really like the way it was running, and it didn't have lighting either, so I got shot of the green version. But I do want to get another green version with the full yellow ends. But I do love my 25, it's very, very pretty. This is my Helgen 47 in Intercity Swallow livery. I have a number of 47s in my fleet. It's a class that I've sort of grown up with over the years. Back in the day when I was younger and used to spot them around Paddington and in and around Kensington Olympia and all that sort of thing. Well, there was loads of them anyway, so they were easy to find. So I grew up with these. I have a number of them in my fleet. This is a Helgen example, and the Helgens are really good. There's not much in it between them and the Batman versions, I don't think. I like them both, but the Helgens, I like the running gear of them, and they run really. I think they're probably slightly better than the Batmans in my view, because they're a bit more tolerant. If they're a bit more forgiving if your track work isn't exactly tip top or spot on. I find that the Batman 47s can be a bit kind of picky about some of the track work. So yeah, I do like this one. And like I said, I have a number of 47s in my fleet. This is another one of my 47s. This is a Bachmann version, and it is a red parcels liveried Royal Mail 47, and that exclusively runs with my mail train. Although in truth it could be run with anything really. I mean, back in the day they used to. It was just whatever 47 was going would be run in any sort of whether it be with parcels or other freight or passenger traffic. But I tend to use this particular one just exclusively on the mail train, and I love its striking livery. It's a lovely loco, it runs really well, but like I said, I just think the Helgens are a little bit more forgiving than the Batman ones. My next 47 is another Batman version, and this is 47535, and it's University of Leicester. This loco is a very sought after loco. I actually, funnily enough, come across one on eBay yesterday, and a second-hand example of one of these is going for £110 at the moment on eBay. So it's a very sought after loco. Personally, I just love this one. I do like the 47s anyway, but I think I just really like it in the BR large logo livery. I've always liked the BR large logo livery anyway, and it looks really good. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this loco, and like I said, it's just like my Batman and the Helgen. It runs really well, and it gets used regularly, and it can be used for all sorts, either for freight or for passengers traffic. So it's a lovely loco. and yeah, it's always pretty much dotted around the layout somewhere. This is my other 47 in the Intercity earlier version livery, the intermediate livery between the BR Blue and the Intercity Swallow livery, and I do like this livery a lot. This is 47612 Titan, and it's a Batman version. I mean, this one has hardly seen any action at all, in truth. I do intend to get it out more often and have it running on my layout a bit more often because it deserves to be. It's just such a beautiful loco, but unfortunately it's like one of those things. It's like you have these locos in boxes and they never get used because they're always in boxes, so it is going to be intended to be dotted around and make it a bit more accessible so they could be running around the layout. But I do love this one. My last 47 is another Batman version, and this is 47715 Haymarket. It's in Network Southeast revised livery. Again, this loco has seen sporadic use on my layout. It hasn't been used a huge amount, but it has been used, and it's in excellent condition and mint condition, and it runs really well like all the other 47s. In fact, all the newer locos, Batmans and Helgens, whether they be 26s or 25s or whatever, 47s, 50s, they all run really well. And this just is such a beautiful loco to look at, and it's a very hard one to get hold of. Next comes the Class 50s, or as I like to call them, Marmite. Some people love them, some people hate them, but I'm in the category of loving them, and so much so that I've got quite a number of them in my fleet, and I'm hoping to add to it fairly soon with another 50. This particular 50 is 50007, and this is a super detailed Hornby version in the green livery, and I just love Class 50s. It just takes me back to the days when I was at Paddington and at Waterloo at the ends of the platforms, seeing them go by and listening to their distinct sound. I have a great affinity with these. And then when I went to Plymouth to see family, we used to go past Lara Depot and used to see them parked up as well, over at Lara as well. So yeah, I have a great affinity with the Class 50s, and I love them. And so this is 50007 Set Delga. My next 50 is 50011 in the BR large logo blue livery, and it was the more popular of the liveries carried by the Class 50s. Personally, I liked them all, but this was probably the favourite. My next 50 is this revised, later revised Network Southeast livery in the darker blue, and it's 50002 Superb, and this is a Hornby weathered version. In fact, all my 50s are Hornby, and they are all super detailed versions. I did have one Lima version, but that's now since gone, so all my 50s are now Hornby versions, and they've all got lighting in both directions and all the rest of it, so and all the usual refinements. And yes, it's another beautiful loco, another livery I like on a 50. My next 50 is 50027 Lion in the earlier revised light blue Nowick Southeast livery. This particular 50 has some meaning to me in terms of I live in Alton and we have the preservation line on the watercress line, and we currently have lion there, and in fact the slide that accompanies this is actually taken from the watercress line where lion currently resides and lives, the real life one. Again, there's a super runner like all the Hornbys and Batmans and Helgens. It runs really well, and yeah, I'm really happy because this is quite a difficult one to get hold of, and it does go for some money as well, so I was really happy to get hold of this one. My penultimate 50 is 50008 Thunderer in the experimental sort of engineers blue, grey and yellow. It wasn't carried for very long. The other two locos that carried this livery was 50019 Ramillies and 50037 Illustrious, and Illustrious only carried it for a day. But it's a beautiful loco. It's usually used for engineers, trains and engineering works, but it can also just basically be used on passenger workings as well, and rail tours and stuff like that. And again, it's another super detailed 15, it's another super 50. My final 50 is my most recent addition to my Berringer fleet, and it's Class 50 013 Agincourt, and I absolutely love this loco. I got this actually for my birthday last month, and this is only the second time it's been out of its box. It hasn't actually been able to run because nothing's been running on my layout for a little while whilst all the work's been going on. But it does deserve to be running. It needs to be really running, and it will be run on my test track, I guess, at the local model railway group, because that's what it really needs first and foremost, before running on my layout. It's a beautiful loco. I love the fact that it's slightly different. The head code boxes are different, because this is obviously an early 50, so there wasn't no headlight in the middle. The letters were then removed later on and just plated over, and just had this original sort of head code domino effect before they plated it over proper. And also the vent is also an obviously early vent with the 50s before they modified them and they went for refurbishment. And it's a beautiful looking loco, and I love these to pieces, I really do. Definitely my favourite class. My last loco for this part is this Class 73, a rather tatty looking Class 73. It's a Lima, and it's 73108. I'm looking forward for when the Dapple ones eventually do turn up to get hold of a Dapple version, but in the meantime I'll settle for this pretty good representation of a Lima 73. And so stay tuned for part 2, where I'll be covering my DMUs and EMUs. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 2.